So what is up, guys? This is Golden Dragon Gaming. Today I'm playing more Pokemon Moon. So basically what I'm going to show you guys is and hope this video gets really popular, is how to beat the Elite Four in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now the Elite Four in Pokemon Sun and Moon is very easy in my opinion. I beat it so many times. But for those of you who struggle to win, I'm going to give you a little tip. So first of all, the Elite Four are the strongest trainers for new people, and after that you get to face Professor Kukui. So there is a fighting, rock, ghost, and flying Elite Four. So you just automatically think you can just bring like one electric type, one psychic type, one dark type, and one water type and expect to win. It doesn't work like that. So for example, a Pokemon, so what you should do is when you start off with Hala, who rocks the fighting type. A Pokemon that does really well, that can do really well with the psychic, that does really good psychic moves, is Alakazam. Now, Alakazam's Mega Stone is obtained post-game, but I think we can look past that. It's got a really high special attack stat with Psychic, so that is capable of one hit KOing most of his team, since most of his team is really slow. But the Beware might survive depending on the level, because it's got a decent HP, but obviously mine's really over leveled. So if you do not have Alakazam, the next best option to go for would I probably be like Gengar, because Gengar is immune to the fighting type moves. He can't really learn, he can learn Psychic, but best to go for Alakazam. But if you want something that can be immune to fighting types, then go for Gengar. Flying types also do well, but a lot of his Pokemon have like coverage, like his Crabominable is an Ice type, which has an Ice Hammer for coverage for flying types. So not really a bad choice. Now in Acerola is very, very easy, which is a ghost type. All it really needs is a dependable sweeper, and I use Incineroar. But that's kind of bad, because not all people start with Listin. But if you do, then you're in for a really easy thing. Darkest Lariat one-shots most of her team, except maybe the Drifblim that might survive, and the Sableye, since it has a resistance. But then, that really just one-shots. But if you do not have a Incineroar, another option would be Garchomp, because it can learn Crunch when it evolves. Crunch is pretty good against her Pokemon, and like it can use Rock Slide for the Drifblim if you want to save your Crunches. But I think Listin would probably do the best, except for that Palossand, but it should outspeed it. And if you have the Insignium Z, that would be the best move for probably the Palossand, so it may survive. So that's another thing. Another Absol is another Pokemon you could use, but I highly don't recommend it, just because you get it so late game and your Pokemon might be higher level. If you get a Super Luck Absol with Night Slash, I think you should use that, because a Night Slash has a high chance to crit, and Super Luck, I think, increases the chance to crit, so that would be really good. The Water type Elite Four is probably, in my opinion, the hardest, because most of her Pokemon have coverage and stuff. But a good water type would be, if you start with Popplio, which I'm not sure if any of you do, you can use that and use Scald or Sparkling Aria. Then that pretty much does a lot against her team. Except for maybe the Golem. Golem has Thunder Punch, so that might survive. But another option go for would be Gyarados. That's a pretty good water type. But the bad thing about Gyarados is its lack of physical water type moves. The only physical water type move it learns is Aqua Tail, which is pretty good. But one other thing, Gyarados is weak to rock, so that's another thing you gotta watch out for. There's other moves you can use, like you can use the Garchomp Earthquake. You can use the Lucario. Oh wait, is Lucario post game? I don't remember. I got this through trade. But that is pretty good against... Oh, another good Pokemon, you can use, like, Golisopod and stuff, like Fomantis, anything. The main Pokemon, I have to say, is problem with the Lycanroc. It's kind of fast and can outspeed a lot of Pokemon, and it's got pretty high attack. So, if you bring, like, a Gyarados, watch out, because it might get outsped and get hit by a Rock Slide. And now, finally, for the Flying type Elite Four, just a, she has a lot of coverage, so an electric type, you might need some other types. But one electric type that would do pretty well is Alolan Golem, since that is a ground and electric with its Thunder Punch move. Golem is pretty hard to get because of trades, but it shouldn't be that hard. But because it's the latest Pokemon game, so It'll be really well against Crobat, which it does well against Toucannon. It does well a lot of her team. The one Pokemon that a lot of people might have trouble with is Skarmory. Like, again, just use a fire type against that, and it will have Sturdy, so if you decide to go for Lit and use Flare Blitz, I recommend using a weak move first, and then going for the Flare Blitz, just so, because it does have Sturdy. And like I said, Electric type moves do well against Skarmory. Another thing Skarmory has is Spikes, so if you do have any Pokemon that are really weak to ground type moves, I highly recommend not sending them out. Like Golem, for example, that could get really endangered by the Spikes. And then that is pretty much the Elite Four. Now for and one other good electric type. This is a pretty good electric type, Vikavolt. With another bad thing about Vikavolt is this part's Bug type. Vikavolt is pretty well against most of her Pokemon. I'd say maybe the Mandibuzz. That's probably her biggest threat. Toucannon's not that big of a deal because it's a very it's not very strong. It's a glass cannon. I'd say her strongest is Mandibuzz. All right, now once you get past Cuckoo, the Elite Four, then you can get Kukui. Now, I know a lot of you guys, this is going to be super hard, but you just make it harder. If you get past the Elite Four and you get to Kukui, and you got heals, you got the Elite Four. So he has a Magnezone. Magnezone is probably the hardest Pokemon to take out in the Elite Four because of its sturdy and its really high special attack. Like I said, use a weak move and then go for the Earthquake because it does have sturdy. Kukui will have the opposite starter of Zeus, so if you chose Litten, he'll have Primarina. If you chose Decidueye, he'll have Incineroar. If you chose, what was the other one? Primarina, he'll have Decidueye. All those have really good weaknesses. Incineroar gets pretty knocked out by, like, any fighting type move that's really overpowered by, like, a Crab Animal or a Komo-o. Should one-shot it. Well, or maybe not, it might live. Braviary is another Pokemon that's kind of hard I had trouble with. Like I said, electric type moves are your best bet. But probably the best one you should go for is Golem, because you can use Thunder Punch, and it'll have unlike Vikavolt, which is an electric type, it will be super effective against the flying. Well, it won't be super effective, but it won't tank well. Lycanroc is another good Pokemon to have for Braviary because it's fast. It can probably outspeed the Braviary and go for the Rock Slide or Stone Edge, whatever you want. And then forgot what else he has. He has an Alolan Ninetales. You can just Fire type. That's so easy. I mean, there are other weaknesses, but I think Fire is probably the easiest to knock out. And what else did he have? His Lycanroc is one-shottable by Earthquakes and literally just any super effective high damaging move will one-shot it because its defenses are so low. Like the Garchomp Earthquake, the Komo-o Brick Break, all those will probably one-shot it. And then what else did he have? He had one more. I don't know what else he had. I'm not sure, but that's your guide. If you guys want to see more, then subscribe. If you found this helpful, then give a like on the video, and I'll see you over here in peace.